Are you planning to start your own landscape photography business? If you are, do you have all the necessary pieces in place? Many photographers fail because they don't have a clear and effective communication. And this video is about the 3 most important keys to any successful business. Hi, I'm Kim from Landscape to Art. If this is your first time here, make sure to click the subscribe button below. There are 3 keys to success for any business. And these keys might be obvious, but yet so many photographers get this wrong. It is easy as an insider in your own business to think that everything is good to go, that everything is clear for everyone. But seen out from outside with other eyes, it might be far from obvious what you're actually doing, what you're selling. So let's get started and look at the 3 key factors. The first key is your product or offer. And it's easy to think that you have a product even because you just have a bunch of landscape photos. But is it obvious for potential customers that are visiting your sites that it's actually photos you are selling? Photos can be so much. They can be framed, they can be digital versions, and you can also focus on specific types of landscapes. You can sell landscapes from your local area, so you're specializing on local images, and that's about images. But a lot of photographers, especially landscape photographers, they also sell workshops and courses and tutorials. These products are very different, but it's a reality for most landscape photographers that they have a broader range of products. And to effectively sell all these different products is very challenging because different market segments and customers need different messaging. Maybe instead of marketing, you are spending a lot of time trying to perfect your products. Like if you sell images, you always will try to get better, take better photos. Because in your minds, the photos are never good enough. So you need to practice more, take more and more and more. So you don't have time to the marketing part. But who decides when you are good enough, when you are taking good enough photos to be sellable? If you decide, you will never be good enough. So the only way to find out is if your customers are buying your work, your photos, they obviously are good enough, even though you might think otherwise. So the idea of being better than someone else, better than other photographers, is a very hard skill or very hard to do. So instead of being better, you should try to be different, because different is easier to measure. You can see, and it's clear when someone does something different from all the others. Most landscape photographers, they are focusing on any photos. They are trying to sell everything they make. So, and that takes a lot of efforts, because you constantly need to add more and more photos to your portfolio. So instead, you can be different by focusing on one specific area. Like, for example, being an expert in astro and night photography, or aurora photography, or as I said, being a specialist in your local area. So being a specialist in one specific area instead of a generalist, that's much easier to handle. The next key factor is your customers. No one can do business without customers. But are you clear about who your target audience are for your products? Is your marketing strategic or just based on coincidences that you're posting on any social platform without any further thoughts behind it? For example, are you selling prints and mostly hang out with other photographers in photographer forums or groups? That might not be the best way for marketing, because photographers might not be the most relevant prospect for print sales. And if you have different offers, it's important to be aware of this. With different products, it's likely that you must target different audiences. And print buyers, they are different from workshop participants most of the time. And marketing, it's much easier with a clearly defined market and with less number of products. The next important question to this is, do you know how to reach out to your ideal customers? Where do they hang out? And marketing efforts and your messaging will be different in the different segments. It's the same if you send out the same newsletter to everybody. It's probably not the best approach, because you talk differently to beginner photographers than you will do to more experienced photographers. The messaging depends on where they are in their journey. So you must build a segmented email list so that you can reach out with the right message to the different segments. And here is a link to where you can find more about how to grow a targeted email list. The third key to success is your marketing and sales systems. When you know your ideal customers and it's clear what you are selling, you must set up a well-working marketing system. And it's important that you can capture leads from wherever you are present on the internet. You must build your email list. That's the first thing that in this marketing system that you must have in place. You also must have a system that you regularly communicate with your subscribers, your list subscribers, and keep them warm so they don't forget about you. If you're not regularly sending them reminders and with useful information, they will soon just forget about you. The next thing you must have in place is an order and delivery system. When people are about to handle you their money, they are vulnerable and they can be afraid. Are you a scam or can they trust you? So if your checkout system is messy then many will just leave without buying your product. A lot of sales are lost because the potential customer get confused when he arrives at your sales page if it's messy there. So maybe this is your only chance to get this customer, because after he leave your checkout page, he's gone. He might go to someone else and buy a different product, your competitor's product. So if you're not clear about who you're targeting and who you're selling to, you will have a hard time with your business. If you try to reach everyone with too many offers, you will have to work very hard, and it will take a lot of efforts and time from you. You really might risk spending your time on the wrong things and the things that don't bring in money in the business. So the most important in any business is to constantly get new leads and customers. And watch this video next to learn how to identify new markets for your photography business. And until next time, ha det bra, goodbye.